Hello guys and welcome to another Age of Empires 4 casted game. This time we have a special match today, a special mirror. We have Valdemar playing as the French in the color yellow against his opponent, also playing as the French in the color red, but there is something different here. This guy is playing on controller. He's playing on the Xbox. And this guy, it's recently, he has been climbing the ladder a lot. He's been mainly playing, I think, John Dark. I'm not so sure about it, but I'm really curious how he plays this. Because this is you know, when you're at the top level, Viper X is a really good player. He's a Conqueror 3 player. I think it's either Conqueror 2 or Conqueror 3. He wants to prove that he can actually be good at this game even with a controller, because decision making it's the most important thing. I mean, everything is important at the end of the world, but in this game decision making it's quite important. Now we are in a special map. We are on EGCTV. Let me take a look at the name. There we go. Actually, we're in prayer. It's not EGCTV. We're just in prayer. Prayer is it's a very unique map. It's a map that I hate. There's plenty of food here and very little wood. It's lots of food. Look at the amount of sheep you can get. It's lots of food, big gold vein, big stone, and pretty much no wood here. And you can already see, like, usually in this kind of map, you don't stay in field long because wood is not something you can spend. At most, you want to use it for your farm transition, but it's one of those maps where I personally don't like. But you know, I'm really curious to see how this turns out. Now, French against French. I'm not really sure how this will go. Probably we will see a School of Cavalry. We're not gonna see anything weird. One thing for sure is big gold vein here. So they can stay in his base for a while, especially with so many ships. Actually, Valdemar opened up with 2 scouts. It's one of the few maps where you open up with another scout and it's most likely worth it. So he's gonna have a lot of food in his base. He's gonna have quite a lot of food. Meanwhile, Viper X are already there with aging up with 3 villagers. Gonna be the School of Cavalry. House coming soon. I'm really curious. I need to see more gameplay on the Xbox because I'm really curious about to see how everything like works. I'm really unfamiliar with the gameplay on Xbox, and so I'm really surprised like how everything is organized here. Like, let's take a look at his point of view. Like, he already have the scout here. It's like it's gonna scout the opponent now. Valdemar aging up with 5 villagers. Actually, Viper already ahead on the Asia, but he did skip wheelbarrow. Valdemar already having an earlier wheelbarrow. It's gonna scout all the villagers on gold. Obviously, we're gonna see pretty much a night fight. So it's one of the reasons why this match is really interesting to me is because this is a very micro-intensive fight match. French is very micro-intensive because you need to constantly be moving the knights, harassing your opponent, make sure your knights don't die. They're very, very valuable unit. And it's one of those fights where maybe the opponent will go for a spearman and then you need some archers and you will need to micro those archers too. And I'm not so sure how the controller will handle that. Viper X already there with the French knight. Meanwhile, Valdemar actually not going for that knight. Probably thinking about, you know what, I'm gonna go for some spearmans. It's actually building some walls first. Very, very interesting. Scout's gonna be blocking the way. This is gonna be really annoying for Valdemar. I mean, a single scout here is just really, really annoying. Just the fact that, just because of that, your wall is not gonna be finished on time. The knight, it's almost there. And meanwhile, looks like the wall is gonna get finished. You're gonna be careful with this small wall here. That's the problem of this. But looks like it's gonna be finished on time. And Viper X is gonna try to find another entry point. But look at the charge here. Actually managed to look at the micro. It's like charging and cancel the charge and just go back. Very, very, very interesting. Now that's a lot of sheep. That's a lot of sheep. How many sheep you have? It says yes, sir. Gonna eat sheep the whole day. By the way, if you haven't tried sheep, it's an amazing meal. And look at the first villager of the game goes to Viper X. Valdemar with his place here with the villager. This is what happens to when you eat vegetable. You need to eat a sheep, my friend. Looks like both players are just gonna be a night battle. It's gonna be a night battle. And more walls coming up for Valdemar. But walls is really important in this kind of matchup. Because knights can just come from everywhere. And you just limit the amount of places where these knights can harass you. So it's like a outpost coming here. Looks like Viper X is just gonna be opting for the outpost path. Meanwhile, Valdemar just building a big wall here. Now this is gonna pay off in the future. Obviously not now. These are resources that could have been used somewhere else. But against the French, it's a really, really good investment, especially when you are all walling. And you know, you can just rest in peace. This villager looks like he will finish the wall. French knights equal on both sides. Looks like Valdemar will have the advantage here, but Viper X already there with the chivalry. Will be very, very careful on engaging the next fights. It's like Viper X getting some walls up here. And looks like both players will continue building more French knights. We're not gonna be seeing any kind of crazy stuff, castle age or anything. Now the problem is, who's gonna go to Spearman first? Who's gonna go there and be the first guy who makes a Spearman? Because if you make the Spearman, then you force the other guy to make the archers, right? You lose mobility, but at the same time, like, your fights become much better. Especially when you're fighting against a French. A couple of spearmen here and there, and suddenly you make tons of damage. Walls are finished here, and looks like the walls are gonna be finished here for Valdemar. Looks like a big, big wall. And Valdemar not doing the charge, unfortunately. Wasn't paying attention at that moment. There's quite a lot of damage there. And these knights also have chivalry. Chivalry already there for Valdemar as well. So he's gonna be healing those units. It's like the walls gonna go down. Villager will try to repair it probably. More walls coming up for Viper X. To be honest, if you didn't tell me Viper X was using a controller, I wouldn't have noticed just watching this. Like, obviously you can check who's playing with a controller and who's not before choosing the match, but I'm really surprised. Looks like Valdemar will go there for a raid, and Viper Exe with a little bit of a slow reaction here. Probably the downsides of playing with a controller. Gonna be losing a couple of villagers. Now the good thing about the French, the French Viper Exe, I mean, he does have automatic villager production. Take a look at his queue. It's only one. So I believe as soon as he has the food, he's gonna queue up another one right away. Let's take a look. Instantly, automatic 3, 2, 1. There you go. So you don't need to worry about those things. So your attention can be somewhere else, which is very, very cool. Man, I really want to buy an Xbox now. And looks like Valdemar gets pushed out of the gold. There is a little hole here in the wall. It looks like Viper Exe is gonna be the first one with the initiative of getting some spearmen out. There's plenty of knights for bot players. And looks like Valdemar already chose the path of going for archers. It's gonna be tricky here because, you know, I'd rather lose a spearman than losing a knight. So having those spearmen in the composition makes it really easy for you. I guess it's also easier to micro, which is just attack, you know. It looks like all the ship is about to run out for Valdemar. Still have some berries here and some deer at the back, but not so much. Meanwhile, Viper X are already there with some farms. I don't know, have you played the game on the Xbox? Like, there's definitely some kind of farm placement help for Xbox players. I think so. I'm not so sure about that. But I would really like to take a look more in depth of the Xbox version, just to take a look at all the quality of life upgrades that the game has. More knights gonna harass in the south. Looks like there is a charge coming up for Viper Exe. Not enough space for Valdemar to do the charge. Looks like he's pulling back his knights for now. He has plenty of archers. This is almost into the point where he can one-shot a spearman. The problem is gonna be the food now. Production? Probably gonna be stopping for a while. Viper Exit? Right there with some farms, so should be going there for some berries now. Still the possibility of going for the boar. There's only one boar here? Oh, never mind. Well, where's the other boar? Is Valdemar gathering the boar at the moment? I don't see it anywhere in the map. But by the looks of the food income, I don't feel it's that way. Wall going down here. Archers gonna be focusing on the spearman. Looks like he pulled back at the right time. Now the problem with going archers in this matchup is that there's not much wood. So eventually, like, you really want to use that wood for the farm transition, because your food resources are about to run out. And probably, like, if you go Castle Age, you get that guild hall, it's gonna be a lifesaver with those extra free food that you get from there. It's like this wall is gonna go down really fast. Knight's gonna be able to do a charge. Spearman already there waiting, and very nice reaction for Viper. I really want to see how he plays. I think he's streaming on Twitch. I'll put a link in the description if I manage to find it. But overall, very nice pulls from the knights. Like, he is reacting. He's actually doing micro, and at the same time another raid happening here. He managed to react on time. Villagers attacking here. Now both players very equal actually. Very equal in terms of economy and military. Steer some food resources for both players. But Viper X is already thinking ahead in the future. Building some farms for himself, so it's not gonna be too much worry about the food for the time being. Villager goes down here. Fortunately, it's next to the gate. Not enough spearman here, but just enough to so you can get some damage. And looks like Viper X will take the fight for now. And the good thing about doing this kind of spearman knight composition is that your micro it's easier. Like you just attack with both of them. And because archers are in the back, like you don't really take the risk of your spearman actually going for those archers. So it makes it easier. It makes it definitely easier for you. The question is, who's gonna go castle first? Are they even interested in going castle? Because that's a lot of food you need to invest into going castle. And probably if you go castle, you cannot deal with these units. And Viper X actually building a ram. Gates gonna be built here. Looks like it's not gonna last much. +1 melee armor coming for both players almost at the same time. Nice charge coming for Valdemar. Let's take down one knight. And now the spearmen are going for it, but archers are already there. Spearman goes down. At the same time. What is this? Oh, it's just a scout. I thought it was for a moment it was Valdemar's villagers that were attacking another villager. It's like, what is happening here? And now Viper X should be more than happy to wait at the gate with those spearmen at the front line. Oh, that's a lot of villagers on gold. That's a lot of villagers on gold. Nice charge coming for Valdemar. And Spearman not really in position. Managed to micro the ram. Actually pulls it away. Comes back again. And looks like this is a definitive battle for these players. Looks like Viper X is like, okay, I'm going for it. I'm just pray for the best. But looks like knight numbers for both players still pretty equal. The problem is the number of archers have decreased and there is some spearman in the mix. Now, I'm not so sure about going right into the town center now, but the ram is causing a lot of trouble. More units coming for Viper X, especially more spearmen. Not enough archers for Valdemar, unfortunately, and looks like he's gonna lose the archers now. No archers to deal with the spearman. And this is a really tough position. He's fighting under the town center, but there's no villager around here, so he cannot really garrison any kind of unit. Production is going down, and there's not enough wood in this map. There's little farms here. At the same time, Valdemar went for a raid. Let's see if he managed to react on time. Managed to pull the villagers. And a couple of rams already here on Valdemar's space. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a really tough one. Not resources around here. Another archery range coming down. and Knights gonna be doing a charge. But the Spearmen are already here. And not enough villagers to garrison into the town center to deal with those Spearmen. With equal military units, it's just a fight you cannot take. And now the town center is gonna get rammed. It's like Valdemar forced to. Okay, I'm out of this. I'm out of my base. You can take it. I'm out. He having more production in the back. No production for him. Getting some wood here, but he's gonna get Spearman for himself. Definitely the right choice, I believe. You're going to have a lot of Spearmen here. There's already 24 Spearmen coming up for Viper Exe. At the same time, actually, in a little bit of a fight here, cutting reinforcements, but not so without taking damage from those Spearmen. And the two landmarks are going down, actually. And a landmark victory approaching for Viper X, and looks like it's gonna be a contest victory. Well played by these two players. I hope you enjoyed the match. I'll put a link in the description where you can follow Viper X, and I'll see if I can find Valdemar, and I see if I can find Viper X. I'll see you in the next one.